is a blockbuster in its native South Korea, already been an animated prequel released over there. Described in the paper the other day as a zombie carnage on a bullet train. I mean, how could you turn down that film? How could you resist it? The main character is a middle-aged divorcee, a workaholic, who's convinced by his young daughter to take a day off, escort her on the train from Seoul back to Busan to see her mum. And what you see over the course of the film is this very white-collar office worker type guy forced to become a hero, actually forced to turn into an action man as a zombie virus spreads across the country, spreads across South Korea, and specifically onto this train that he's on with his daughter going to Busan. And the father-daughter relationship really helps give the film some heart. In fact, all of the characters on this train, you've got college students, a couple of elderly women, the whole range really, they all have emotional backstories. And that was the big surprise of the film for me, how touching it was, how emotional it was, totes emosh, because they actually had some depth to them, these characters, and they had their own stories. The big enjoyment of the film, of course, is the splatter and the gore. And these zombies are numerous and energetic and fast moving. I love the way they just bound down the corridors of the train, just practically falling over one another, really kinetic and chaotic. And actually, I like the way that the whole layout of the train, the toilets, the luggage racks, the electric doors, they're all used in the plot. The train itself, as it speeds along the tracks, is used very effectively as a setting for a zombie invasion movie. It's very convenient that zombies can't operate electric doors on trains. It's very convenient, perhaps, that there's a baseball team with their baseball bats on the train. But you forgive things like that. The bottom line is, it's not hugely groundbreaking, I suppose.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe that's what you get in trains in Korea.
What,
I mean, if you're getting the
teams?
1538 to Worthing,
Yeah,
or something, you may not expect to have a baseball team on there and the rest and the like. But maybe in Seoul you do.
maybe it is. Maybe it's just a cultural thing I don't realise. It's not the most groundbreaking movie in the world, but it is a huge bundle of energy, and it's gory, and it's high concept, and it's fun, and the set pieces are really tense, and it builds, and it might start off as one thing, starts off quite slowly actually, it might start off as one thing, but it builds and it builds and it builds, and it throws in some surprises. And it's much simpler than something like World War Z, which is a fine movie, but it's a much more focused film than that, and actually, no doubt, considerably less hassle to make than that, and a real lot of fun. I think it's great. I can totally see why it's been so big in South Korea, why it has, and in Asia as well, not just in South Korea, why it's been this blockbuster already, because it has, it's just the kind of movie where you're cheering on the heroes.
I mean, when I started watching the film, I had no idea what it was about.
Right.
And so when the film started, I thought it was going to be about, I hadn't read any reviews, I didn't read a synopsis or anything. I thought it was going to be, a train journey between a father and a son and a daughter, and they kind of, have these
delicate character
moments.
study.
That's what I thought it would be. So when the whole thing kicked off and the first zombie arrived, I thought, what, pardon? It's going to be tricky to get back to the intimate story of a father bonding with.
I thought this was Bergman. What's going on?
I didn't think so, but I thought it was great. And you mentioned World War Z there. It's got that 28 days later,
Yes,
zombie kind of runny, jumpy, leapy thing.
and it's difficult to make a truly original zombie movie because there have been so many classics, and they're all inspired by one another. So it's never going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. But certainly the train element and that idea of racing against time and racing to battle these things before you get to the destination, that's a really good little hook, isn't it? That's a good angle.